There is a skill that notable leaders, successful entrepreneurs, and world changers have not only been using, but they have become masters at it. And that is the skill of service. Service, you may be thinking, is just helping people, volunteering, doing good deeds. But I beg to differ with you. There is much more to service than meets the eye. Service is the training ground. Service is the place where character is built, where skills are developed, where gifts are honed, and where purpose is revealed. So join me in this episode as we will be looking at service as a skill, because it is a skill that every purpose-driven person should become a master at. And welcome to the second episode of the series, Skills Every Purpose-Driven Person Must Develop. Today we will be looking at service as a skill. And like I said, service is not just about helping other people, but in this context, service actually means being able to willingly put your gifts, your talents, your ability, your time under another. That is what service is in the context of which we are talking about today. Service is the willingness to place your time, your gifts, your abilities, your energy at the disposal of another, either through a cause, a vision, an organization, or a group of people. Service is contributing before being recognized. Service is saying I will add value before I seek to have a reward. Service means learning to be a helper. Learning to be a helper. So I'll ask you to write this down. Service is a training ground where every purpose is discovered, developed, and demonstrated. We can see that over and over, even in the lives of notable people even all around us. You look at the likes of Michelle Obama. You look at the lives of Oprah Winfrey. You look at the likes of Nelson Mandela. You look at the lives of Cosmos Maduka. You look at the lives of, the list goes on and on. All these notable leaders served before they came into the limelight, before they became known for whatever that they do. They all put time to serve. Why service? Service is really important because it helps you to discover your gifts. Many gifts remain hidden until they are used. But guess what? Service gives you that opportunity to give expression to your gifts. Service gives you that ability to use those gifts. But oftentimes, a lot of us don't even know we even have those gifts until we begin to serve. When we volunteer our time, our energy, our skills, we begin to find that as we do that for a particular cause or a person or something, we begin to discover gifts that we may not even have known that we had. So service actually helps you to discover your gifts. Service gives you a safe place for you to test your abilities. It's somewhat like an opportunity for you to test run before you go on a live project. Service allows you to practice, make mistakes at a minimal cost. It helps you to learn real life experiences without actually having the real, being in the real situation. Look at it, even like David. David faced Goliath, but before he did that, he had practiced in the field. He had practiced protecting the sheep, and that was what gave him the confidence that he could actually, face Goliath. The battlefield was not his first testing ground. No, it wasn't. It was the sheepfold. So you see that service is really important. Service helps to build your character. There's something about service. Service tunes you, it develops you, it polishes you, it makes you ready for where your purpose is taking you to. Because purpose without character is actually dangerous. Leadership without character is even worse, it's destructive. Service helps to develop humility, patience, responsibility, faithfulness, and most especially accountability. Service helps you to build competence. Service helps you to become a person that you have refined and you have honed your abilities. Service allows you to become who you were called to be. Service allows you to improve, to sharpen your abilities, and helps you to, be prepared. It teaches you excellence, even at a minimal cost. So let's take a moment to look at the story of Joseph. Now we know about Joseph's story. He had a dream. He was in Potiphar's house, and he went to the prison and all that. But there's something that you may not have noticed about Joseph, and that is the fact that where he may have had the gift of interpreting dreams, that gift alone was not enough, because your gift may actually open doors for you, but what actually sustains you is your skills and your competence. That is what allows you to walk through the hallway of purpose. And let me explain why I said so. Because Joseph, when he had the opportunity to interpret the baker and the cupbearer's dreams, he just basically told them what the dream was, and that was it. But guess what? There was a skill that Joseph had been developing right from Potiphar's house, and that was the skill of leadership, the skill of administration. Joseph had been honing that gift, and that was why even Potiphar had to make him next to none. He was Potiphar's personal assistant, basically. When he got to the prison, he became the warden's, next in command to the warden himself, simply because of his leadership and administrative skills. Now, when Joseph had to meet with Pharaoh, he gave the interpretation of the dream. But guess what? Unlike the time of the baker, where he only gave an interpretation of the dream, Joseph was also able to give a solution to the problem from the dream. Remember, the dream revealed the mystery. The dream revealed the problem. However, Joseph now did not only know the problem, he was able to provide a solution to the problem. And that was why he was able to say to Pharaoh, get somebody that is, skilled, that will be able to do this and do this and do this. He was able to provide to Pharaoh not only a solution, he was able to give the nation as a whole a strategy for their survival over the next 14 years. So you see that it's not just enough to have gifts, but your skills must be, developed. And Joseph served. He served in the house of Potiphar. He served under the prison guard. Service was that which allowed Joseph to hone his leadership and administrative skills. I bet you, if Joseph had remained in his father's house, he probably would never have been able to develop those skills. Because look at it, when his brothers were sent out to the fields to work, Joseph was left at home, the baby of the house. He literally was growing up with that entitlement mentality. The honest truth is, when you are not willing to put yourself under another, you will develop that mindset of entitlement, where you expect others to serve you, where you expect others to give you accolades and to begin to reward you for even the seemingly little things that you are doing. Service is key in fulfilling purpose. Service positions you for the fulfillment of your purpose. So you may be wondering, how do I get into service? How do I develop service as a skill? Number one, you can serve under a mentor or get into a mentorship academy. There are so many opportunities of such all around you, because in the place of mentorship, this is one of the fastest ways that you can grow, where you can place yourself under someone that has gone ahead of you, and you can offer your time, your support, your skills, and yet be able to, will I say, bridge the gap of what would have taken you so many years to learn. You can get that same thing, putting yourself under a mentor within a shorter space of time. So mentorship is one of the ways that you can develop the skills of service. A second way is through volunteering work, where you volunteer your time, your skills, your abilities to be able to help others through a particular cause. And this could be through an NGO, it could be community projects, it could be a youth organization, it could be an educational program. The list goes on. There are many opportunities for you to be able to volunteer of yourself and serve even others through that opportunity. Because volunteering actually helps to expose you to opportunities for growth. Thirdly, you could serve in your church or even your faith community, so to speak. Many people develop leadership, administration, teaching skills, media, music, communication skills, and all whatnot as a result of their service to such faith-based, organizations. So the church or the mosque or whatever the situation, whatever your faith may be, that system of faith actually provides for you a safe environment for you to develop your skills and character. Another way that you can develop the skills of service is to join yourself with a team that is bigger than yourself. And that could even be through your workplace, through the job that you do, or basically even just, joining with someone else to do a particular cause, a vision, or, for a particular, agenda that they are running. So you support a mission, you get involved in a project, you're a part of a movement. Those are ways in which you can develop the skill of service. Unfortunately, so many people resist this opportunity to serve simply because it may seem hard, it may seem stressful, it may seem, why must I put myself under another and be accountable to them? But that is a place where purpose is developed, where purpose is built, where purpose is discovered. Service gives you that environment for true growth. With service, you will find that you are, putting yourself in a place where you are truly developing your leadership skills. You are truly developing your administrative skills. You are truly developing your musical skills. Whatever talents, whatever gifts you have, through service, you are able to develop these things. So service is not a punishment, but is actually a training ground, a place of preparation. So I would like you to remember, service is just a pathway to your purpose. It helps you to develop your character. It helps you to reveal your gifts. It helps to develop your competence. I would like you to note one thing as we close, that service comes before leadership. Service comes before leadership. Service comes before influence. Service comes before impact. So be ready to serve. So this week I would ask you, how can you serve? What environment have you placed yourself in such that you are serving even another? Because it's in that place that you will truly begin to discover and position yourself even for your own purpose. So till we see again next week, I would like you to remember to share this video with others who may be, walking this journey of purpose and saying there is a skill that they need to develop to be able to help them to become who God has asked them to become. So please go ahead, like, share, and definitely subscribe to this channel. Help us to continue to build a community of purpose-driven people who will make an impact in this world and beyond. So till see you again next video, keep living life purposeful by design.